What is up? Welcome back to another NFL rundown. Switch that banner. There we go, Tyler. We have switched hats from the NBA to the NFL. This is the NFL rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. The best for all your sports gambling information. Head on over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. Tyler, how are you doing? We run down the NBA earlier. We gave out some best bets. But now it's time to take an early look at the NFL. And what we like to do on this show is we just talk about the games, give our early thoughts. If we really love a play and we think the line's going to move in the way that we do, we'll give it out now. Most of the time, we just bookmark them and we come back to them on Friday when Tyler gives out all the winning props. Let's start with a quick recap of last night. Tyler, I know it was disappointing for me. I was on the Rams. You told me that you like the 49ers. Title told me that the 49ers had a great chance. So I was out on an island and feeling pretty dumb even by halftime there as the Rams did not show up in San Francisco. Any thoughts on that game last night?
Yeah, I mean, looking at that game, I know it's the popular thing to call the Rams the frauds right now, but I actually think they are because their offensive line can't protect Stafford. He can't scramble around back there and create these plays like some of these other mobile quarterbacks. So that's going to be a problem for the rest of the year. They have to address that if they want Super Bowl chances. So outside of that, though, the game was it was bad for me. I had a Van Jefferson touchdown. We watched him drop it in the end zone. Yeah. We had Higbee receptions. He had a couple of targets he dropped, and then Stafford just threw it to cup the rest of the game. So frustrating night.
And that was the game from a props perspective. The books have to love it when the game is like that, right? Because nothing's going to go over. There's no push on both teams to keep pushing. 49ers got the lead. I mean, let's be honest, right? I could have played quarterback last night, right? Snap the ball, hand it off.
Yep.
I could have done that.
I mean, 5 yards in front of you. There was no deep passes for San Fran.
So, the defense, which was what we were hanging our heads on for the Rams, did not play well. But Kyle Shanahan had the right scheme, right? Don't let those pass rushers get to you. Don't let that Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Floyd combination go ahead and destroy you. Attack them on the ground, and that's what they did. Let's take some comments in the chat about last night's game, and then we'll move on to this week. Jonathan Nelson, our resident guy, Lakers fan and Vikings fan. I love the combination. I just don't think Stafford is that guy to get the Rams over the top, and we will find out because
you could take the player off the Lions spread. You can't take the Lions out of the player.
I haven't heard that one before. Our guy, Pocket QB Lamar Jackson, says the Rams defense is not very good as well. And let's see, that's just traditionally been a bad matchup. And I ignored that last night, but Shanahan's always done well against McVay, and that happened again. Kyle Alexander hanging out in the chat. Thank you for hanging out, Kyle. Glad to have you here. Let's jump into the Thursday night game. Should be fun. The New England Patriots, they're the new team ready to disappoint us, right? Because they're the team that everybody's saying.
This is the team we're penciling in is like the new elite team. Here comes Atlanta by 40.
Right. They could win the AFC here. So let's wait for them to disappoint us. And what a great opportunity for disappointment they have traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, who are coming off an absolute blasting by the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. So two teams coming off huge wins, Tyler. Boy, 6.5. The market is definitely caught up to New England. Maybe gone a little too far. Atlanta, tough to get behind. How are you approaching this game?
I think it's just a teaser spot. You tease New England down. I mean, yes, you could see Atlanta just catching them and winning this game. But does their defense scare you with something that's going to just like put Mac Jones in bad spots or anything? Like they don't have a good run defense either, so the Patriots should be able to establish the run in this game. I just don't see how they really lose this game outright unless there's some bad turnovers that give Atlanta good field position. So give me the Patriots in this one, and we'll definitely tease us with another game on the slate down to 1.
All right. As we are going through, we will look for maybe a teaser spot. Our guy Lamar Jackson thinks Atlanta's going to get the win. Andrew G. Yeah, that's a big number, right? I mean, Patriots. That's a pretty big number.
It's just, like the game, just like if you play it through in your head, it's like Atlanta's like they're gonna have to pass to beat you. The Patriots pass rush has been in the backfield against everyone they've played, and their secondary is good. So it's like I don't see how Atlanta moves the ball. Cordell Patterson's not going to run for 150 yards on this defense. So
yeah, that's a great point.
It's going to take turnovers on the other side for Atlanta to pull this off.
So would you be more comfortable with it if it was Sunday? Because our guy Pocket QB makes a good point. It's Thursday night football, right? Do you think the short week actually gives Atlanta an advantage here, whereas Belichick will have less time to get his guys ready to absolutely destroy that line?
I mean, maybe it gives Atlanta a better chance, but it's not like New England plays like this very complex form of football. Like it's run the ball, rely on your defense, short passes. Mac Jones isn't throwing 50-yard bombs down the field. So they'll just run through their game scheme and then they'll walk right in here and play this team on Thursday. So it's not really worried for me.
All right, yeah, and let's see because obviously the Ravens laid an egg last Thursday. Well, let's see what goes on this Thursday night. So, Tyler, this will be my last chance to talk to you on the air on a football show before that game starts. Is there props listed already, or are the books late to the party this week?
I see some, but they're not all listed for like some of the New England skills players. But I do
I
see
wonder
touchdown
why.
scorer
Like,
props.
what news are they waiting on?
I'm not sure what they're waiting on, but the touchdown scorer props are already up. I don't hate Kendrick Bourne at plus 225. These
Mhm.
Atlanta corners are terrible. He's one of the better receivers for New England, and they use him a lot. So I could definitely see him catching a red zone touchdown here.
All right, let me throw that in chat. Who was that again? Bourne?
Yeah, Bourne plus
Ex
225.
49er? Yeah,
Yep,
Bourne identity. What's his number?
plus 225.
Plus 225 in the chat for the people that are running late. All right. So, guys, not as many props as usual, but the books are late to the party, getting those up for Tyler. But guess what that means? I get to pitch Run Pure Bets because to get access to these plays when the numbers drop, you will not be able to hear them live on this free YouTube show. You're going to have to head on over to runpurebets.com, become a member, join the movement, and get access to all the plays. So as these props continue to hit the board, Tyler's going to delve through them, find the winners, and give them out to the members of Run Pure Bets. Let's jump into Sunday. The San Francisco 49ers, who we saw last night, boy, is this a letdown spot heading to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, a team that has been very disappointing this season? Tyler, let down here, or are the Jaguars too bad?
I mean, it definitely could be a letdown spot. I see Elijah Mitchell might not play this game because he just had surgery on his finger. But I just don't see how this pass rush for San Fran isn't all over Trevor Lawrence causing problems the whole game. And you could have the same thing on the comeback with Josh Allen and those guys on Jacksonville's defense because their pass rush has been gotten better over the past few weeks. So really no play on the side for me. Now the total of 45, I'd probably lean under because we know San Fran loves to run the ball and keep the clock going. And I think they're just going to keep Jacksonville inbounds. They're going to sack Trevor Lawrence a lot in this game. So that clock's just going to be ticking away.
Great point there. Yeah, I'm just muting here and there. So if there's a little pause, that is why. Yeah, great point there. So you lean towards the Niners side here?
I mean, if I had to pin me down to a side, I'd probably lean towards the Niners side. Yeah.
Okay. How about teasing this?
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I think there's better spots on the board.
Okay. Total 44.5. What are your thoughts?
Under. I just see them running the ball a lot, and they're going to be all over Trevor Lawrence. So I just see that clock ticking the whole game.
The MLB Maestro, Joey Work in the chat. What's up, Joey? All right. So Tyler doesn't love the spot from the side, but the under, pretty quick and decisive there, gentlemen. Indianapolis Colts plus 7.5 heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills, of course, had a very nice performance, but it was against the Jets. How much can we really take away from that? And then we look at the Colts, who, let's see, that was when they got ahead. They beat the Jaguars, and then they didn't give it to Jonathan Taylor, and he should have broke the DFS slate, but he did not. This is going to be an important game for both teams, right? Both teams need it. Both teams should be up. There's no quote-unquote look ahead here. 7.5 seems like a lot, but the Bills do have a high-powered offense. Total is 50. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
I mean, this is a weird game because we've seen the Colts offense has just been chugging along. They're getting their offensive line healthy. Taylor's running through holes that 4 of us could run through at the same time. So, and then the Buffalo, on the other hand, they're sputtering along. Their offense hasn't looked great. I mean, if you want to say the Jets are the turnaround game for them last week, I think any team in the league beats the Jets. So outside of Cincinnati, but
yeah, what was that?
Small lean to the Colts side because I just think they're going to be able to put points up here. But for the most part, I kind of like the under again here. The Colts defense is good, and if the Bills defense is going to be legit like everyone says they are, they should be able to slow this team down too. So lean under 50.
Over under 0.5 Carson Wentz stupid flip passes that almost get intercepted.
Do you mean the one that he lateraled like 10 yards?
He got away with it this week, but a couple weeks before. And the funny thing is, like, you got to learn from your mistakes, bro. Like, the first time you do it, it's like, okay. But when you're doing it week after week, I mean, what's going on there? But I love the fact that Joey Work shows up in the chat, and then you take the points on the very next game. So that's great timing by Joey and Tyler. I will not let you guys know whether or not they plan that. The Miami Dolphins are -3 heading to New York to take on the Jets. The Jets is +3 at +102. So it'll probably be +3.5 if you wait and you like the New York side. But who could possibly like the New York side? What am I missing here, Tyler?
I mean, maybe Miami playing in the cold. They don't like that. So that could be for them. But this is a complete stay away from me because it wouldn't surprise me to watch Miami just lay a dud here after the win against Baltimore and the Jets come out and win this game outright. And I also don't want to get invested on the Jets side and watch them get blown out by this Miami team. So complete stay away from me.
I'm completely fine staying away from this game, right? And hey, if you can find an angle, God bless you.
This is the game on the board where, like, if you make a bet in it, when the game's over at 4:00, you're like, even if you won your bet, you're like, I could have bet 5 other things and just saved myself stress.
Tyler, I just tried to bet it, and the number from Gamblers Anonymous came up on my sports book. So maybe that's telling us something here. I think that we're fine staying away from this game. Washington football team +3.5 heading to Carolina to take on the resurgence Panthers. Cam's back. Tyler, what's your breakdown?
This is going to stay solely on Christian McCaffrey if he's going to play or not. I did see he went into the blue tent last game because they just kept feeding him the ball. So he plays, give me Carolina. If not, I'm probably just going to stay away from the game altogether. You figure that Ron Rivera was the coach of the Panthers. This is the rematch game. So I could see Cam just coming out and dominating them. But I want to make sure McCaffrey is safety blankets in the backfield. So he's in there. Give me Carolina. If not, stay away spot.
And that's fair. That's another game we'll be go ahead and revisiting.
Washington off the big win too. So they could lay a nice flat spot here.
A double letdown spot. Maybe the under is the way to go. I'm seeing a 43.5. Do you think
we really call Carolina's win like a big win though? Like Arizona's record was good, but they were playing Colt McCoy. They're missing their best wide receiver.
It was emotional though. If they lose that one, their season's over, right? I mean,
very
it's like
true.
We're back.
This is now the home game though. Now the crowd's going to be loud. Yeah, I think this is the Carolina spot if McCaffrey's in.
And do you think this line already indicates that they expect McCaffrey, or do you think it moves out to 4 or 5 if he plays?
Yeah, I could see it moving to 4, 4.5, but I don't think it moves much more after that.
I'm fine staying away. If it moves and we don't get involved, I'm fine not betting on the Carolina Panthers and the Washington football team. 2 teams that have been wildly inconsistent this year. Although, I mean, we could say that about most of these teams that we will discuss today. The Baltimore Ravens -6 heading to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears catching 6 at home, coming off the bye. The Ravens disappointed us on Thursday night football against the Miami Dolphins, so they will be looking to bounce back. I can't remember what the Bears did 2 weeks ago off the top of my head, but my guess is that it was probably
they almost got that game from the Steelers. Remember on Monday night, the Steelers tried to give it to them.
Oh yeah, but yeah, once again they come up short. Poor Justin Fields. I think that what's going on there with the front office is really a bad deal. I think Matt. We talked about coaches that need to be coordinators. Let's send Nagy back. Let's send Fangio back and get a different CEO style coach because neither of those gentlemen are getting it done. Ravens laying 6 on the road. I don't know what to make of this game, Tyler.
Here's our other teaser spot spread.
You like it better?
Baltimore off the loss.
Okay.
I still think this Chicago team is bottom 2 teams in the league. Yes, they put up those points against Pittsburgh last week, but most of that came in the second half once Pittsburgh was sleeping at the wheel. So I just kind of take that with a grain of salt. We know Baltimore is going to blitz the hell out of Justin Fields. So, yeah, give me the Ravens. Tease it down to a pick 'em. And I think they win this game by at least 24. I think it's a blowout.
All right, and Lamar Jackson agrees with you.
I'd hope
All
so.
right. Well, I can do that teaser right now, and then I think that's good because I think these are both going to be popular sides. So I can get it at 0.5 and a pick right now. Let me just throw that in. Um, all right, there we are. I got my teaser, Tyler. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can find some more. So, guys, the only thing of everything we've talked about so far that I bet, I teased the Patriots and the Ravens. Let's move on. Oh, this is going to be a good show, Tyler. We don't have a lot of football. Only 2 games in the 1 o'clock window or 4 o'clock for you East Coasters. But we're chugging along. Tyler, we've been efficient giving out all these winners today. Great work by you. New Orleans Saints plus 1.5 heading to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. 2 teams I don't know anything about. I didn't think the Eagles were going to do that good against Denver. Okay. I took the L there, and I take it like a man. I wore it on the chin. I got that wrong. But still, man, just because the Eagles look good against the Denver Broncos, I'm not ready to believe that they're a really good football team. What do we make of the Saints? I mean, Jameis isn't going to be back, right? It's more Simeon time. I mean, what's going on with these teams? Talk to me about this game, Tyler.
Yeah, no, we won't see Jameis till next year, if anything, with that torn
Is
ACL.
it that bad?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. But
I
looking
thought
at
he,
this
I
game,
thought for some reason he had a chance to get back at the end of the year.
nah, I mean, maybe if they're in the Super Bowl, but I don't think
Well,
any
why
of
is
us
he
are seeing
dancing around
that.
in the locker room then? He tricked me.
He had his crutches out. You didn't see him? But looking at this game, the way Philly has won their last couple games is with the run. I mean, looking at past at this Denver game, Jordan
Yeah.
Howard, 12 rushes for 83 yards. Boston Scott, 11 rushes, 81 yards. Jalen Hurts, 14 rushes, 53 yards. I don't see them being able to run the ball efficiently on the Saints defense. Give me the under in this game. I don't see much points coming from the Saints side either. Kamara's banged up, so he might not even play again this week. So yeah, that under 43, I think we're golden there.
Oh, I like the way you're attacking because the first thing that game screamed to me was stay away. I think, I mean, boy, there's a lot of games like this where there's teams that I just don't want to get involved with on both sides. So you got a 43, I got a 42.5. I think it gets home either way. Let's take the under there. Now let's talk about the market move.
You want a sneaky bet in this one spread?
Yeah, of course I do.
When the touchdown scorers bets come out, no touchdown scorer in that one.
I like it. I like it. So we'll discuss that. Will we have that on Friday?
Yeah, we'll have that by Friday.
Okay, so remember to please subscribe to the channel you're watching. Of course, give us a thumbs up while you're doing that, and you'll be notified when Tyler and I go live. And Tyler, this show's been good, but really where the money's at is that Friday show and the Tyler prop picks because the kid is just on fire. He's getting a little older. I don't even know if I can call him the kid anymore. The man is on fire. Title's taking the kid title. The Houston Texans plus 10 heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The juice is on the minus 10 here. Might see a 10.5 soon, and for good reason. Titans are on a roll. Texans are terrible. Tyler, tell me why I shouldn't lay it here. Is this I've been hearing this Titans team's going to let down for like 3 or 4 weeks. I don't see him letting down. This guy Vrabel's like going to cut appendages off to make the Super Bowl, man. I think that goes a long way in a locker room. Am I square here, or what do you think about this game?
I have to take just the 10.5 on the principle that yes, they scored 23 points against the Saints last week.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see where their offense comes from outside of AJ Brown. So if you could limit him a little bit, like you're going to slow this team down to where I don't think they beat you at 10.5.
Yeah.
So, and yes, their defense has been playing better, but like if there's any spot where they're going to like take their foot off the gas, it's right here against Houston. So hold my nose and give me the points in this one.
All right, and guys, remember, I'm just hosting these NFL shows, and we're disagreeing here. And you should probably lean towards Tyler when he disagrees with the amount of time he spent crunching on the NFL, and me, of course, shading more of my time.
Think about it, spread.
NBA.
Everyone wanted to write the Lions off coming into last week. They're like, we just can't bet this team anymore. Mm-hmm. Rolled in. I was ready to hammer the money line.
Yeah, but
the +8 came home by a mile, and we got the game to finish in a tie.
Were we really betting on the Lions, or were we just saying that the Steelers always let down in these spots? I mean, I felt like it was more of a Steelers fade than betting
it was
on
a
the
Steeler
Lions, right?
letdown spot, but it was also like that lined up for the Lions coming off the bye. Like if they were ever going to get something right, it had to be right here. So I think Houston gets right here. I'm not sure they win the game, but I think they keep it within 10.
Okay, and we're opposite here, and I'll go ahead and give you my little idea here, right? But like I gave the warning that Tyler's spending more time on the NFL than I am. I think this game is a referendum on how good Tannehill is, because we've seen Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, right? Certain guys that they win with not the best supporting cast, right? I mean, Rodgers goes out there with Devontae Adams and a bunch of practice squad guys every week, right? And he's done it for 5 years. Like Russell Wilson, like DK's become a stud, but he was doing it with average level receivers before they got DK. So it was like Lockett and a bunch of guys out there. Can Tannehill do that? This is his time to prove that. I personally am pro Tannehill, so I think he gets it done.
What if I
Even with
told you they
these,
play New England next week?
I don't Vrabel. I
Look
don't think
ahead
Vrabel will
spot.
let you look
Vrabel.
ahead. I don't think Vrabel's ever looked ahead.
He's sitting at 8-2. New England's the new AFC team that's coming up. He's holding the 1 seed. Yeah, give me all 10.5 points in this game.
So what actually happens on these quote unquote look ahead? So let's say you and I are players on the Titans. What are we doing different? Like why
It's
are we
just
like?
you're already game planning for the Patriots. You're just kind of just
So are we in the meetings actually talking about the Patriots?
I mean, I think partially, like, it's kind of like, all right, here's the Houston tape. Click, 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 click. All right, now let's talk about the upcoming game against the Patriots.
Do
And
they
let's go
really
back
do
and
that?
look
So
at
I don't know. I've never been in an NFL locker room, and Hard Knocks cuts off after preseason. So
I mean, I've never been in one either, but
yeah,
that's just
I
could see
thought you
that
had
happening.
been when you had that bed news before the rest of us.
No, I mean, that was we were betting that regardless if he was playing or not. But
well, since you
I could definitely see that in certain games in certain situations, and I think this is one of them.
So since we know that you have Tomlin as a text friend, go ahead and ask him. Do you guys literally game? Because I always just assume that was like, for example, like a flat spot to me is we're playing the Texans. Hey Tyler, man, this game plan doesn't matter this week. Like we might spend some extra time on the film. Let's go out tonight, buddy. Next week we're gonna have to buckle down. Let's get some of that stuff out right now. That's what I think happens here. So
They could be doing that too, but I could see Vrabel being like, "All right, we're gonna check Belichick stuff from this past week and see what he did that in that game." So,
all right. Well, any NFL insiders, if you guys know, just reach out to me and Tyler and let us know if they actually watch film a full week ahead of time. I always assume that even though it happens, it's unspoken.
I'd say maybe 29 of the 32 teams don't, but then those few guys like Belichick, Vrabel, and probably Sean McVay do. So,
all right. Well, we're gonna have to work our inside information circles and find out what exactly happens in these look ahead spots. And hey, this is a great conversation because we have less games this week, so we can kind of take those type of sidetracks. So hey, first one I think we were opposite on. Although to be fair, I chickened out on a lot of them. But I'm gonna lay it with the Titans there. And well, I mean that's my lean. I don't even know if I'm gonna bet it. Right? I mean like. If I miss an opportunity to lay 10 points in the NFL, have I really missed that big an opportunity, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys that all go out and are single young men have seen like quote unquote opportunities that you missed that really weren't good opportunities. Green Bay Packers are -2 heading to Minnesota to take on this Vikings team that we consistently underrate, Tyler. Once again, I bet against the Vikings. Once again, they beat me against the Chargers, but now they're going against their nemesis, although they usually do pretty well in the dome against the Packers, if I remember. And Jonathan Nelson says, "Give me the Vikings money line." What do you think?
I mean, definitely a big game for the Vikings. It's in the dome, like you said. It's at 1:00. This is like the Kirk Cousins special. I think we're gonna pencil another team in here, spread. So yeah, line up the Vikings tickets for the money line because they're gonna win this game outright after this statement.
All right.
Green Bay is probably a top 2 team in the NFC. Their defense has looked great over the past few weeks. If their offense just keeps going along, like this team could easily make the Super Bowl. So they're right up there with Tampa Bay for me. Now, this total to me at 49 seems a bit low because I think both offenses are just going to go up and down the field. Because
I have a 48, Tyler.
You have a 48? I like the over there. Okay. Yes, Green Bay's defense has been better, like I just said, but Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Thielen, they're going to get some points on the board. And I think Green Bay is going to at least get you 30 here. So, yeah, give me the over.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson keeps climbing in our wide receiver rankings week after week. You definitely cannot doubt that, man. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine not getting involved with the side and just taking that over. I think that you got a great look on the totals this week. Now, we've talked about this before. Overs are popular with the public. If I have a 48 now, do I just hit that right now, Tyler? Or do you think that I can I afford to wait? Is the under brigade going to go ahead and keep this line where it is?
No, I mean, I'd probably hit it now because just this matchup, I think you see a ton of points. There's no real injuries unless somebody gets COVID that's going to drop this number. Like we know Adams will probably be in there. Cook will be in there. The two receivers for Minnesota will be in there. Cousins and Rogers will both be there. So I don't see it going the other direction. There's no weather that's going to ruin this either. It's in the dome. I think the only way it's going to go is up, so I'd hit it right now.
Let me place that bet. It is in. Oh, I like that. I accidentally still had it on the teaser, so it had the Saints under and the Packers over as the teaser. I think I might do that as well. That's a pretty cool number. Although you shouldn't tease totals. Never mind. I can't give bad advice on the show. Scratch that, guys. I didn't just say that. Let's go to the next game. The Cincinnati Bengals are pick'em against the Las Vegas Raiders. Tyler, my favorite team versus the team that I get completely wrong. I recuse myself. I'm, like what's that? When you're on the jury and like it's like your old buddy on trial, you have to recuse yourself. You can't be the juror. I'm going to go ahead and recuse myself on this one. Two teams that I cannot get right at all. Talk to me about the Raiders and the Bengals.
I mean, two teams that seem like they're going in the wrong direction. They're both falling off. Mm-hmm. But if there's ever a spot Cincinnati's going to right the ship, it's got to be off the bye week, following the couple losses against this Raiders team that just seems to be in complete shambles. So give me Cincinnati to win this game outright. They've been game planning for 2 weeks for this. Zach Taylor wants to get this team winning again. Mm-hmm. I just see Ja'Marr Chase tearing the secondary up too. So, yeah, I think Cincy puts up a nice number here and they blow them out.
Yeah, and if you guys, watched the show yesterday, you know how I feel about the Raiders and, pretty disappointing for the fans all around. So, I don't know. For our sake, hopefully they at least don't get blown out. Total of 50.5. So do you think the Raiders get blown out? Because I think that's how you view this game. If you think it's close, you go over. If you think the Raiders lay another egg, and can't put these points up, you go under. Where are you looking here?
Yeah, I think they lay an egg. I don't see them putting up many points. Now, Cincy's team total over, I think would be a nice look. Mm-hmm. But I could just see Josh Jacobs isn't playing very well, so they can't establish the run.
What a terrible draft pick.
Since he's been pretty good against the pass, and there's not really many threats out there for the Raiders outside of Renfro and Waller. Mm-hmm. You cancel one of them out, you're pretty much golden. So, yeah, I'd probably lean under because I think they get blown out, but Cincinnati's team total over if you want to play an over.
All right, that's the way to go. Team total over there for the Bengals. Let's see if the Raiders can get back to tackling. Gus Bradley had that defense looking pretty good, and the Chiefs made it look like Swiss cheese. The last game of the afternoon. Unless is there just something not on the board?
You're missing one on the board. Which one? Go ahead, and then I'll give you the other one.
So I have the Cowboys and the Chiefs on here. Chiefs minus 2.5. Both teams coming off a big victory. High total of 56. Tell me your thoughts on this game.
This is going to be the game of the week. Everyone's going to look at it and be like, this could be the Super Bowl matchup. Yep. And which it could. The 2.5, I think, is just home field advantage. Like we all know is the standard. So this game's basically lined as a pick'em. I'm taking the Cowboys here. I think they have the better defense, of course. Their offense should just keep roaring against this defense. Mm-hmm. Chris Jones, Dak will be able to get away from him. He's mobile, so he'll scramble out of there. They'll still be able to run the ball. So, yeah, give me Dallas here. And I don't care how high you set this total. Until it's in the 60s, like maybe 65, maybe I'd hit an under, but give me over 56. Neither team's stopping each other.
All right. And Richie Smalls reminded me because I'm not good about this. Hey, guys, hit the like. Tyler's out here giving free winners every week. I'm guiding you through it. All we ask is for the quick thumbs up on the video. So what's the game that Bookmaker does not have listed right now?
Arizona and the Seahawks.
Okay, and we know why. It's because of Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah, Arizona right now is minus 2.5, and the total sits at 49.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously we're not getting involved until we have the news.
Yeah, if Kyler plays, grab that number immediately before it starts to move because I think Seattle is just going in the other direction. I don't think
what a bad
good.
team.
I think Russ came back too fast too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's the only way I'm playing that. And I maybe lean under, but my only worry there is the Cardinals' defense has been worse. Mm-hmm. they're going to put up a ton of points too. And if they drop a couple touchdowns to Seattle, this game could easily go over that 49.
I'm fine staying away from this game until we get the news. So, guys, this is a great chance to give you a quick reminder. We'll be back doing this same thing on Friday. But right now, we talk about the sides and totals. So we're going to revisit those sides and totals, see if we've changed our minds, see if we've added plays to the sheet. And then Tyler gives out all his favorite props for the game. And that's where the money's been at as far as our NFL content that we've been producing, Tyler. You know, we do a pretty good job on these sides and totals, but those props have been money, man. I mean, those have single-handedly saved my NFL season for like nights when I picked the Raiders and then I picked the Rams. I mean, I got R&R'd. It was absolutely terrible. And it was not rest and recreation. Tyler, the Sunday night game. Oh, no. What is the Sunday night game? Was that
Chargers Pittsburgh?
Why is that one not on the board?
Probably because Ben is still in COVID and Minka Fitzpatrick will not play in that game. I have a line for it, though, here on FanDuel.
Give me your FanDuel line, and we'll talk about it with that one.
Chargers are up to -5.5. They opened at 4. And the total sits at 47.
And they're playing in LA?
Yes. I don't care that this is going to be a home game for Pittsburgh spread. The way you beat the Chargers is you run the ball. Mm-hmm. Yes, Najee Harris he looks like a great running back, but when you have to give him the ball 35 times a game just to get him over 100 yards because your offensive line can't block, you're not going to be able to run the ball against this team. Ben's going to be limited on his weapons too, because I doubt you probably still won't have Claypool.
All right.
It's going to be just Johnson out there in Washington. Ben's having his trouble hitting these receivers. He's definitely going to throw a pick in this game. They have troubles with the Chargers in primetime. I've seen them lose these games multiple times. They've played the Chargers in primetime like 5 times since I've been watching football like at 6 years old. I'm pretty sure they've lost every single one of them. So give me the Chargers here minus the 5.5 and give me the under 47.
I can't believe this, Tyler. I'm trying to get off this Chargers train, and you're telling me no. Stay
not
another
against
week.
Not against this team spread.
Wow.
I don't care that they're 5-3-1. This team isn't good.
They're not bad though.
I think they are.
Wow. All
TJ
right.
Watt might not play too, so it's like if he's out, the defense takes a giant step back, and they haven't looked good in the past couple of weeks. I think the Chargers are going to be able to move the ball here.
Wait, look at our guy Lamar Jackson. He says Bosa's on the list as well.
Yeah, Bosa is on that list. Yep. They still have Derwin James back there though, so it will be fine.
All right. I'm fine completely staying away from that game. We will have plenty of time to revisit this.
If it gets up to 6, there's another teaser spot.
For who? Tease the Chargers down?
Tease the Chargers down.
You really believe in this team after the duds they put up?
This is just like last week. I'm not just believing in the Chargers here. This is a fate of the Steelers spread.
Like, Brandon Staley doesn't have aviator glasses.
I mean, there's our guy Twatty in the chat. Put that comment on there.
All right.
I needed my other Pittsburgh guy in the chat. Perfect timing.
Direct from Pittsburgh. Took the aviator glasses off right before he typed it in. Our guy, Mr. New to Town, a.k.a. Twatty Lottie, who's a very, very good college football capper. Does great with college.
You wanted
football.
my inside guy on how I had the Roethlisberger news spread. There he is.
Oh, well, okay. So Tyler's giving out his sources here. So you guys should be thankful for that. But he says Devin Bush is not good at football. If Minka and TJ don't play, Steelers are in trouble. And that's what I was going to say. 1 week, I can't remember the week, Tyler, but TJ was out, and I said, oh, they're fine. Tomlin will scheme them up. And they look terrible without him.
Yep.
And I knew that the quarterback means that much to an offense. I never knew that a defensive lineman could mean so much to a defense. But it happened. I thought they'd be able to absorb the loss. Obviously I thought it was a downgrade, but they look terrible.
It's just all the attention he draws. He's like Aaron Donald. He helps those guys next to him. I mean, think about like when we had James Harrison and we had Lamar Woodley on the other side. Lamar Woodley looked like a tank. He signed to your Raiders. That all went away because Harrison's not on the other side getting double teamed.
Exactly. Do you remember James Harrison's workout videos? The guy was just a beast.
Yeah. They said he still does stuff like that.
I love that guy. What a stud. So it seems like we have gone through the full card there in a pretty efficient fashion. Tyler, as the season goes on, man, NBA, NFL, man, we're getting here, giving out the winners, giving out the information, all courtesy of runpurebets.com. So please head on over to Run Pure Bets. Use the promo code BETS25 to become a member if you are not already a member. And of course, like the video, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Tyler, any more words of wisdom before we get out of here?
No, just make sure you subscribe for the channel, sign up today so you get all the plays, and that's about it. We'll have a ton of content out this week.
Yeah, and guys, we've been burning through the content. I mean, just going through, and we appreciate all you guys in the chat. Damon, Pocket QB's in here. Kevin, Richie Smalls, I see him in the other chats. Twig DFS, Andrew G, Kevin Clunan, I think I said him twice. Kyle Alexander, Joey Work, and the guys. I appreciate all the support, gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out. And it's been so much fun to just continue to bring this content to you. And it's so much fun for me because I get to grind NBA all morning, log on to the show, run through them, and then Tyler's giving me the winners so I can still have a profitable weekend. So thank you guys for watching, and run pure.